Nigeria's National Assembly is not new to scandals. Recall that between 1999 and 2007, Nigeria had 5 different Senate presidents. And I'll recall that there was first Chief Evan Dewerem, followed by Dr. Chuba Okadibo, followed by Chief Adolphus Wabara, followed by Chief Anyim Pius Anyim, and then the last for that legislative term was Chief Ken Nnamani. That was a high turnover, 5 Senate presidents under 8 years. Since then, there has been some reasonable stability in the National Assembly, especially in the upper chamber. But recently, there has been a crisis, a top of the town crisis, rocking the Senate again. This time around, a sex harassment scandal. Welcome to Conversations with Azu, our weekly diary on life and politics, where we bring to you this week's discussion. What is between Godswill, Akpabio, and Natasha, as written by the award-winning columnist Azu Ishebe, who is live with me on set. You're welcome to Conversation, Azu.
Thanks for having me, Julius. I noticed that you sort of intentionally stumbled on the headline, because the headline is the thing between.
The thing between
but
Godswill
it's
and
not,
Natasha.
it's not really your fault. I received quite a number of interesting responses by people who thought that the headline was a bit contentious. But let me admit, you are actually my interlocutors. Let me do it.
All right, you were initially reluctant to jump into this, let me call it bandwagon, no disrespect, of all the analysts and analysis about so-called sexual harassment allegation by Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan against Senate President Godswill Akpabio. At what point did you change your mind and decide that it was worth discuss at all?
Well, I changed my mind when I found that when I considered that the controversy was becoming a significant distraction for the work of the National Assembly, and also the public was obviously deeply invested in the outcome of the investigation by the Senate. I actually decided to lend my voice to the conversation after Senator Natasha was suspended for 6 months. And of course, as you recall, the suspension also affected privileges, including the remuneration of salary, if you like, of members of his personal staff and his personal security and all of that. I thought that was sort of a bridge too far, and it was just about time. And we also remember that all of this happened in the week of the international events. All of this came to a head that week of the international events. I thought that perhaps.
Okay, the International Women's Day was
on the 8th of March.
Okay, yeah. That provided a good opportunity to respond. All right, quickly, the media has a reputation for brewing and for feeding off scandal, and Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan seems to know this. But don't you think what she has done now will potentially affect her future political career?
It's interesting the way you have framed the question, because you have framed the victim as the cause of the problem. That's the way you have framed. But I go back to what I learned when I studied Maths 101 many years ago in school. And one of the things my lecturer told me back in the day as a student of maths was that nothing as far as money is concerned sells as much as putting him, as faithful as a delicious mixture of crime, sex, and so that's really what it is, and I think it's important for us not to sort of trivialize the conversation, which there is the temptation to do. It's a very serious application, and It seems to me that if the allegation had been taken as seriously and treated as seriously as it deserved, perhaps we would not be here weeks after still discussing it. Obviously, because she had been framed in the past as having a penchant for making such accusations. The only one I have on record is the one against Reverend Dr. People say it's more than that, but I fact checked it, but that's the only one there is. To the moment she came up with this allegation again, he was saying, oh, this woman is always crying about, that sort of thing. And that obviously was the sort of treatment that she received, which I do not think is fair. That somebody is complaining of a wrongdoing. It doesn't matter how often that person complains of a wrongdoing. We have a responsibility to really investigate whether that person has a cause, whether there is really a cause. Until a judgment call is made, you cannot, because somebody complained that something happened against her and is making a similar complaint, you then just frame the person or label the person. That's I do not think that is fair.
One of the reasons I believe people are complaining are that Natasha's accusation against Senator Godswill dates back to 2023 December. She didn't complain at the time.
Oh,
it took all of
no.
2024.
We have
we get to a point
before.
of
and let me just
get to a point of where
let me digress a bit. No, it does not matter. There is no statutory limit for that. It's not statute bad. All right. So we have seen cases in other parts of the world, civilized parts of the world, where people held to certain standards of
yeah,
where
Donald Trump
where people bring up this sort of allegations. If it's not statute bad, she's not supposed to have complained with it. The law does not say that if you are facing the kind of situation she's faced, you have to complain within the statute. No, it's not statute bad.
Yeah, but the question is, it didn't just happen. She didn't complain in a vacuum, like I want to report. She reported after disciplinary action is taken against her on the floor of the Senate by the Senate President. So how do we resolve this?
No, I do not think. I mean, a lot of things obviously have happened before the matter. There are those, for example, say that that the Senate President and Natasha fell out after the shuffling of committee seats and all of those things. That was the beginning of the problem. I do not think that those things, in my view, they are not really material. And nobody is saying here that the Senate, I am not supposed, that the Senate President is guilty of the allegations against him. Until I do not, I'm not saying that because Natasha did the allegation, then the allegation is not necessarily correct. But I think the point of significant public interest is the process. All right, it doesn't matter when they complain. If she complained at any point for having been sexually harassed, the Senate President, because he is involved, cannot be a prosecutor and a judge in his own case, which appears to have been what happened. Then people are saying, no, that's not the reason why she was suspended. She was suspended because of multiple breaches of standing rules of the House and so forth and so. That's neither here nor there. I think that the point of public interest is whether or not the process leading to that discipline was fair and transparent. And that's really what the public is concerned about. To the extent that even people who were not directly involved, her personal assistants or their salaries were that gives you a level of vindictiveness, of like you like getting it. If you don't go that far in a matter that is well considered by a respectable upper chamber, that really is a point for me. That it does seem as if the Senate President, however unintentionally, might have been for. He's showing his hand too much.
All right. Generally speaking about women and women representation, about 15 states in Nigeria don't even have some woman in the House of Assembly. And of Nigeria's National Assembly, of about 460 something, there are only 16 women in the House of Representatives and 4 women in the Senate. What does this say about the nature of attitude to women representation
I think again that's one of the issues that this whole saga of controversy has sort of highlighted. You know, because my sense is that if we have a different sort of demographic or composition, then perhaps things might have been different. And you know, states we're talking about 35%. I have my reservations about affirmative action. I have, you know, I'm not a huge fan of that. But given where we are, there are issues. And, you know, there are issues regarding representation, whether it's representation of women or it's representation of vulnerable groups, you know, other vulnerable groups. That young people also have tried to learn their voice. Both younger people representing as a different strata of the public space. People who are, people who are, I don't know what I don't want to use the word disabled, but people who are physically, who are physically limited in terms of also raised
People with special needs.
People with special needs have also raised concern about representation. So there are different groups. And these are the issues, you know, that this sort of controversy throws up and highlights. And we should not just be blindsided. It should help us do introspect, look more into our systems and see how we can have fair representation across, you know, strata without also getting bogged down by affirmative action. Because it's one thing I always think is
All right. Finally, we saw something bordering on the ridiculous. Women who demonstrating in favor of
and then others
demonstrating in favor of Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, and then legislative aides in the National Assembly presenting Akpabio with a gift for being fair-minded, gender sensitive, and all of that. Have turned this into another Nigerian kind of
drama. Well, people are entitled to do what they wish to do, but again, I think for me, again highlights the dilemma of governance and engagement, very important for this issue. But I think the greater responsibility is not for those; it's for the people who have been elected to important public offices to act with openness, with greater transparency, and with a sense of accountability for the position or the trusts that have been conferred on them. And I'm sure that with the leadership of the National Assembly acted more transparently, a more accountable and transparent manner, we will not have all of this drama of people protesting for or protesting against. And keep in mind, as you said in your intro, the U.S. Congress, since 1789 or so, you can count. I don't think that has a sort of censure, different form of censures, more than 200, 284 members of Congress. But within the last, since from 1999, we've had a couple of censures. More of the censures have been under Akpabio's presidency in the last 22 years. So that also, I don't know what that tells us, but it also means that it's a call for the leadership of the National Assembly. People are, you are elected to the National Assembly, either as a senator or as a member of the House. Yes, you are just, it's when you get there that you elect your principal office. So people should remember that. Natasha, yes, they are, if you are a leader, you are first amongst people, and each of you represents a certain number of constituents. And any sort of censure not well considered and also affects the people that particular representative represents in the National Assembly. We should always keep this.
All right, thank you. For more on this, go to azushapenet.com where you read the full article as well as watch videos and other articles that we put out there for your reading and viewing pleasure. Thanks for coming on the conversation as well.
Thanks once again for having me.
Bye for now.